when you start seeing someone and they are giving you a lot of mixed messages, one minute they're hot, then they're cold, one minute you think, oh, they're really into me, and then the next minute you're like, maybe not so much. I mean, the metaphor is basically they're stringing along crumbs of food, and then you have to imagine yourself starving, right? Hungry for love, hungry for their attention. And so it really speaks to a pattern between two people, the breadcrumber and the person who's really starved for the crumbs. And so, because no one can really be a breadcrumber to someone who's not starving. And that is something that's really interesting that needs to be considered. But you have to say no to it. You can't accept crumbs and then convince yourself it's a meal. Because when dating, you have a responsibility to have certain expectations about how you want to be treated. And you need to be willing to enforce boundaries that protect your heart and that value your time. And everyone, there isn't anyone out there who doesn't know what it's like to have feelings for someone and it may not be reciprocated, right? Everyone knows what it's like to fear developing feelings for someone and then to be rejected. But fearing rejection and not being willing to put yourself out there and say how you feel to the person who's breadcrumbing isn't going to get you what you want. So you can tell someone that you're developing feelings for them, but if it's not reciprocated, then you have to accept the rejection. Because if you don't, and you justify maybe to yourself, definitely to yourself and to your friends and maybe to some family members, oh, it's okay, or oh, they just need some time, or oh, they're really busy, or this is fine for me anyway, or, we have a really great connection. Then you become the person who's accepting the crumbs. And then you start making excuses for why you're going to stay together. And then you never actually get what you want. And then what happens is that you enter a situationship. And that is a relationship, it's not really a relationship, that doesn't have any definition, that has no clarity. And the real danger of that, among many things, among, the anxiety that you experience from being in something like that, is you take yourself off the market because you're too busy trying to get the love from someone who's clearly said to you, I can't be in this at the level that you want me to be in. And all the iterations of that. And it never works because we actually become less attractive when we are accepting someone's crumbs. And we betray ourselves. And let me tell you something. Getting over betraying ourselves actually takes longer than the rejection of unrequited love or the rejection of someone who you wish you had a dream that it would build into something, but they just were not feeling it or they just couldn't do it. Emotional availability really encapsulates a number of things. One is some people just don't have the emotional, psychological, and literal capability and emotional preparedness to do what it takes to build a relationship with someone. And that could be because of a number of reasons. It could be because they just got out of a relationship. It could be that they're divorcing. It could be because they're having a mental health crisis of some sort. It could be because they don't know themselves and they need to do some work on themselves. It could be because they have an extreme fear of commitment. But you cannot build a relationship with someone who ignores your texts. You cannot build a relationship with someone who isn't willing to talk about the future with you, who can't talk about the future with you, who won't talk about the future with you. You can't build a relationship with someone who doesn't make plans with you. And you certainly cannot build a relationship with someone who's not willing to communicate about important things and to have the tough conversations. And it is not your job to try to convince someone to be ready for you or to choose you. Your only job, as I said, is to protect your heart and to protect your boundaries.